couple of weeks, we've been learning about fears and how God helps us to deal with the things that we're afraid of. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit difficult. We're going to be talking about the fear of death. We're all afraid of what happens when we die, but God tells us that we don't have to be afraid because He's in control and He is preparing a wonderful place for us in heaven when we die. So if Jesus is our friend, we have nothing to be afraid of, not even death. Let's cross over to our friends in the Fear Busters lab and see how they help us to bust the fear of death.
Hey guys, we're here in the Fear Busters warehouse. We're in quite the conundrum.
Okay. Here's how this happened. A few days ago, we were sent this letter. Hey Fear Busters, my name is Emilio, and I had a plant at my house that I was supposed to take care of. We went on vacation for a week and left the plant inside. When we got home, the plant had died. Ever since then, I've been afraid of my cat Tiger dying, or even me dying. Can you help me bust this fear?
So, we went straight to work. We figured the best way to bust the fear of death was to see what we could do to keep the plant from dying. We did research and then came up with 5 different ways to keep the plant alive.
Number 1, exercise. Looks like this plant was on the treadmill for too long. Number 2, humor. Supposedly laughter is the best medicine. Apparently not. Number 3, friendship. I guess the plant didn't want a new BFF. Number 4, good food. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, so we thought 22 wouldn't hurt. Boy, were we wrong. Number 5, in our last effort, we took a healthy plant and tried to attach it to this dead one. We call it a transplant. It didn't work.
This is crazy. It's the first time in Fear Busters history that we have not been able to bust a fear.
You know what that means, don't you?
Is there any other way?
I'm afraid not. Protocol says if we absolutely cannot bust a fear, we must break the glass of the red emergency box and follow the instructions inside.
Okay, please retrieve the box. All right, guys, put on your safety goggles and break the glass.
If we can't bust a fear, at least we can bust this glass.
It's a piece of paper.
Curious. Let me inspect this.
A piece of paper? What is it? A recipe? A crossword puzzle?
No. It's Revelation chapter 1, verses 21 and 22.
Hey, maybe let's enter the information into our database and see what comes up. Oh, it's a Bible story. Maybe this can help us bust the fear of death. Let's check it out.
My name is John, and Jesus and I were really great friends. After Jesus died and went to live in heaven, I traveled around telling everyone about all the cool things he had done. To stop me from talking about Jesus, the king sent me to this island. I was all alone, just me and the bees and the coconut trees. Ouch! Then suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore. The Lord spoke to me in a vision. I heard a very familiar voice. I spun around, and to my surprise, it was Jesus. He was about to show me how powerful God is. He told me to write to you about all the things he was about to show me. As soon as I looked up, there was a door to heaven, and it was opening. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw a kingdom where gates were made of giant pearls and the streets were paved with the shiniest gold. There was a beautiful river that flowed throughout the kingdom, and trees that had more fruit than they could hold. Man, I'm getting hungry. There was nothing to make you cry, nothing to make you tired, and nothing bad to scare you. After Jesus showed me what heaven was going to be like, I realized I don't need to be afraid because I know exactly where I will go when I die. Heaven. Heaven has plenty of room for everyone in God's family. And once we get there, we never have to leave because we get to live there with God forever. Writing this down for everyone to hear made me being on this island not so bad after all. We can know that no matter what happens, we can trust God and be confident that because of His power, we have no reason to fear.
Wow, I am so excited that God made this awesome place for us called heaven and sent His Son, Jesus, to make a way for us to go there.
When we believe in Jesus, we don't need to have fear of death because in heaven, there's no sickness, pain, death, or fear because God is more powerful than all of those things.
And because of that, we can be confident in God's power.
I think we can safely tell Emilio that this fear of death is busted!
Hey everyone, it's so lovely to be here today. I just wanted to say hi and that I miss you guys so much, and hopefully we'll be able to have kids' church as normal really soon. I hope you're enjoying the topic today, which I know is a little bit tricky, but something to remember deep down inside your heart all the time is that God is always there with you. And also that no matter how big or small you are, everybody is afraid of something. Cool, so we're going to jump into an object lesson now, which is really exciting. They're always lots of fun. I love them. So I'm going to pop all the things you need to gather onto your screen now, and then follow along with the video that's coming up next. Enjoy!
Our memory verse today is an easy one. It says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you." Isaiah 41:10. You know, all through the Bible, there are verses about worry, anxiety, and fear. 1 Peter 5:7 says, "Give all your worries and your cares to God, for He cares for you." Philippians 4:6 says, "Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything." 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "God has not given us a spirit of fear." If there are scriptures like these all through the Bible, we have to know that God does not want us to live in fear. So that's the first point of the lesson. God doesn't want me to be afraid. I know what you're probably thinking. Well, that's nice that God doesn't want me to be afraid, but I still am. I still have fear. I know we all have things we're afraid of, but when we pray and ask God to help us, He will. The second thing to remember is God can take away my fear. To demonstrate this, I'm going to use a science experiment. It's a really simple one to do at home because all you need is a bowl, some water, pepper, and a small dish with dish soap in it. This bowl of water is going to represent the world. All around us, there are things that make us fearful, things that we worry about. Things like mom or dad losing their job, and we don't know how things are going to turn out or where the money's going to come from to pay the bills. Things like our exams at school, or maybe bullying. Even things like the coronavirus may have us a little bit on edge. I'm going to take my finger. This finger is going to represent us. And when we go into situations in the world, this is what happens. We become coated with the things of the world, and fear affects us. We react to that fear. But when we give our lives to Jesus, there's a protection against fear. No matter what, there will always be fears in the world. That will never change. But when we remember that He is with us, and when we give our cares to Him, those things will not affect us in the same way anymore. Fear doesn't control us. All we have to do is remember that we can depend on Him, we can give our worries and cares to Him, and He'll push back those things from our minds. Fear doesn't stick to us. It doesn't control our actions because we are trusting in Him.
Cool, I hope you guys really enjoyed that object lesson. It was really nice to be here today, and always remember that God is there holding your hand through every situation, so you really don't need to be afraid. But even if you do get afraid, which is definitely going to happen, remember that you can pray to God anytime, anywhere. Sending you guys lots of love, and to all the mums out there, happy Mother's Day. Bye.